starting a sequence of training videos on the very basics of Jujutsu. And with me today, on your right-hand side is Corey Callendorf, and on your left-hand side is Colton Driscoll. I can't come up with the last name. Colton Driscoll, and they're going to help me do a little bit of demonstration what we're going to do here. First thing that you need to know about any form of fighting is that the two primary principles of fighting are position and movement. Position and movement, the most important of those two is always movement. As one of our Japanese grandmasters used to say, you know, be there, know have to block. You can't get hit. So the first thing that we teach right off the bat is the position of resting ready. And you can see both of these gentlemen are in resting ready position. And that means with their hands up in front of them, semi-clasped. They're not gripping their hands, they're just resting casually. And they look like they're just in a normal conversation position. They don't look like they're on the defensive waiting for an attack. But their hands are already in front of them, and they can move and block quickly from there. The reason that their hands are up in front of their chest is that raises their hands in a position where they can react quickly instead of having their hands down here where they've got to raise up and they're vulnerable. So this is our starting position, what we call resting ready. From resting ready, we're going to go to defensive ready. Defensive ready will be a 45-degree slide from center off to your strong side and backwards. So Corey is a left-hander, Colton's a right-hander. Corey's going to slide to his left, Colton's going to slide to his right. And that's a 45-degree step, and go. All right, so that's a 45-degree step. And I want you to look at the hand positions. The hand positions are very important. Colton's hand is up in front of his face. It's actually above his face so that the blocking part of his arm is in front of the face. And this hand is off to the side. Corey's in the same position. This hand's up good and high so that the blocking part of the arm is in front of the face. And this hand is ready to catch a round hook punch or a roundhouse kick. He doesn't have to move. It's already in position. Okay? So they're going to come back to resting ready. And we're going to do just a 45-degree step. And the hands are up. All right, so what we're going to add to it next time, come back to resting ready, is they're going to go, this time when they do their step, they're actually going to slide. They're going to push big and slide. They've kind of been doing that already because that's the way they've been trained. It's becoming an instinct now. So big slides, go. Nice. And come back. And you saw on the end of his, Corey kind of skipped a little bit. That's fine. That's just trying to create more distance. Now, what we're going to add to it this time, before I go forward. Turn around, Corey. So let me show you the purpose of doing that 45-degree slide. If I'm an attacker and I see, and I start to go toward him and I don't know he has any kind of martial arts training, when he does his 45-degree step, what that's going to do is that's going to take him out of my frame of attack. The frame of attack is the direction and the line that person goes in. If you can catch that momentum and see that person's momentum as it goes forward, it creates a frame or an alley. So what he's going to do is he's going to slide out and get out of that alley. When I go, and you can see he's completely outside of my alley. That's why that big slide's important, so you get out here. Okay? If he slides over here and I go to attack, he doesn't even have to move. The arm's already in position for anything that I want to throw. He's already there blocking. That's why the hand's got to be in that position. All right, so go back. Thank you. So this time what we're going to do is they're both going to do two steps. They're going to do two steps. It's going to be the same step both times. A 45-degree step from center. So they're going to go one, go. And then they're going to go two, go. All right, so this is another fundamental thing. It's the same step. You're just doing it twice. And I'm going to demonstrate just a minute what that is for. Go back to center. Resting ready. And again, one slide, two slides. Very good. All right, so Corey, come here. So I'm going to demonstrate what this is for. Again, if I'm an attacker and we're operating on the presumption that I don't know he has any training in martial arts, when I go to do my attack, here's an important element of training. Let me say this before we go any further. It's an important element of training. When I work with distances, I want to do it in a realistic way. I don't want to fake an attack and stop my attack here. That's not realistic. I'm still a good ways away from him. I want to do my attack here like I would be actually coming after him. This gives him an opportunity to practice a realistic distance scenario. All right, so I'm going to come at him. He's going to do two steps. 1, 2. And you can see where this puts him. He is directly over my back shoulder. I am completely vulnerable from right here. Now, Repeating what I said earlier, that's operating on the presumption that I don't know he has any training. I don't anticipate what he does. In class, it's easy to anticipate what your partners do because you're aware of everything they know. You become familiar with their skill sets. On the streets or in the real fight scenario outside in the real world, you're not going to know what your skill set of your opponent is. Okay? So this gives him an advantage just by applying movement and position. The movement is the slide. The position is having the arms where they need to be. Okay? If he gets into a habit of doing that, he doesn't have to think about it. That's his instinct, and it's an automatic self-defense position. All right. So that's our first lesson on movement and position, and how to step slide. And this will get you started on your jujutsu pursuits. Keep in mind when we say Jujutsu in its original Japanese form is a stand-up system. It is not grappling or ground fighting. So that's what we teach when we teach Jujutsu. I'm very careful with the pronunciation, not saying Jujitsu. It's completely different. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is ground fighting. That's not what we do.